With all of the craziness that's happening in the Forex market right now, we just heard from Jerome Powell that rate cuts are expected for the next year, and that just sent the dollar into a free fall. It's been a wild last few weeks, and I figured it would be a good time to take a look at what the average position is looking like in terms of the retail crowd in the trading space. Now, we actually can access this data thanks to today's video sponsor, OANDA, which allows us to take a look at the order book that they offer to their clients. Now, this is something that is free to people who have an account with OANDA, and if you are interested in getting an account with OANDA, there will be details and information down below in the description. So let's have a look and see where current positions are sitting. Now, we have two options here in the top right. We can click the orders or the positions. And I'm gonna actually take a look at the positions first because I find this to be very, very interesting. I've got the Euro USD, and you can see we have data as of the last 4 minutes ago, and this is refreshing pretty regularly, so you'll see the last update was 4 minutes ago. We can take a look at the net positioning, for example, or the non-cumulative. The cool thing here is that we can see the overall positions on the Euro USD provided by OANDA. This is something that is, again, it's available to their clients, and I find to be very, very interesting. So what you'll notice here is that when we look specifically at the euro dollar, we can see that the current prices over here, we're trading around 1.0883 at the time of recording this, and we can see where positions are generally sitting. You can see that if we look over here, these are going to be your short positions, these are your long positions, and so we can see that there is overall on the euro a pretty heavy amount of short positions that are currently open. Now, if you've had a look at the euro dollar recently, then what is interesting, you can actually see it down here, the price action has been moving up on the euro dollar. So I find that to be very interesting. You can see, again, the euro itself is moving higher during this period. And sure enough, retail positions are very heavily on the short side. Now, why do I point that out? Well, I like to use this as kind of a contrarian indicator in some ways, because if you look at where all the positioning is, you might just want to be a little bit conscious that the common retail trader, the average retail trader right now is very, very short on the euro dollar. Something to at least consider in your analysis. So the next thing I want to point out is we can also keep going and we can look at lots of different currency pairs. If you're somebody who trades, whether you trade euro dollar or pound dollar, whatever, I know that I would like to take a look at the pound USD, see where that's at currently. So let's go ahead and go down to pound dollar. And we can see that pound dollar, we've just switched over. We can make sure we have the latest data available. So as of 6 minutes ago, at the time of recording this, of course, the market is trading around 1.2734. And if we zoom in here, again, we can just select a smaller zone of interest. Look at this. We have kind of an interesting story here. So when you look at the pound US dollar, seems like there's a lot more positions on the net long side. Well, at least frequently around these prices. Again, these prices are lining up with what we can see open positions here. On top of this, I think it's also interesting to look at the orders, because this shows kind of the intent to potentially, of course, buy and sell pending positions. Like these are your buy limits or sell limits. So what we can see is that there's a lot of sell limits on the pound USD ahead of price if it does continue to go higher. And at the same time, if price comes down, it seems like there's a lot of pending buy limits on the other side. Why is this useful information? Well, because look, we can see the concentration on either side. There seems to be a lot more interest right now to buy around these prices. You can see, and again, you can just hover through this and we get a nice little information graph here along the way. So super interesting on that front. Another popular currency pair I know is pound USD. We can take a look here and see what I also think is really cool and advantageous about having this data from OANDA is that with OANDA, they have a very large, widespread audience of people using their tools. So this data, while, it's very hard to get overall Forex volume, going with a very, very popular and esteemed broker like OANDA allows you to get a lot of data in one spot. So I find that to be very useful. We're taking a look now at the pound against the Japanese yen. And when we zoom in here, what we can see is that currently there is a lot of positions on the long side below current price and a lot of positions on the short side. So I think that this can be a very useful tool to consider in your analysis. This is why so many traders love to use the order book with OANDA. And if you'd like to get some more information about OANDA and do your due diligence to see if it's the right fit for you, the link and information will be down below in the description. Let's move on to another pair. While we're on the subject, I do want to take a look at another very volatile pair currently, which is the dollar against the Japanese yen. And with the dollar Japanese yen, we can see that price is currently trading around 141.97. And there seems to be a lot of people who have been going long on the against the dollar against the Japanese yen. I think this is very intriguing because what we've seen on the dollar yen is it's really dropped aggressively recently, several hundred pips. In fact, at the time of recording this, in the last several days, it's been very, very volatile. And so it seems like a lot of traders are caught on the, unfortunately, the wrong side of that trade, right? So a lot of long positions are currently open on the dollar yen at higher prices than where it currently is now. A little bit less on the sell side, but some as well. These, of course, are trades that are likely the individual trades themselves are in profit here as the price is lower than that current level, while these ones are floating probably some drawdown. We can take a look at one more while we're on the subject, see if we can find a good currency pair to consider. We've done the euro dollar, the pound dollar, the dollar yen. Perhaps another good one to look at would be the euro against the pound, another pretty popular currency pair as well. And we can see that on this one, we can zoom in a little bit to get a little better reading. I love the way you can just kind of select and get some real up close and personal looks at this data. I find that to be very intriguing. You can see, boom, there is a lot of long positions here and some short positions. But I like to look at this and say, well, what is the more predominant reading? And I would say in this case, it seems like just anecdotally looking at the chart that there seems to be a lot more long positions than short positions on this currency pair. So it might be something to consider in your analysis. If you can see what the crowd is thinking, see what the crowd is doing, it might be a useful tool to consider. Again, last call, if you do want access to these tools for free, the link will be down below in the description to get more information about OANDA to see if it's a right fit for you if you're looking for a new Forex brokerage. Thanks for watching. If you're looking to improve as a trader, we've got some cool free resources here that I wanted to share as we close today's video. Down below in the description, there is a link to join our Discord channel or our Telegram channel. And we also have our website, a1trading.com, where traders can get access to free course material to help you improve as a trader. Remember, we are also live Monday through Friday on this channel around 9:30 a.m. US Eastern, broadcasting most live news events and that sort of thing. So hope to see you there. And also, we do have a couple videos here showing up on the screen. If either of these seems like it might be helpful to you, then make sure to click here or here, and we'll see you there.